was experiencing some technical difficulties, so Tios and Seabiscuit will be taking over the stream. However, we do still have Kurlon on comms with us to manage all the giveaways.
Yep. And I have a lobby invite sent to you. This looks like you're. Are you in the lobby? Yep,
Yes,
you
I'm
are.
currently on Team 1.
All right. I don't think CH would like D4 having you on their team for this round. All right,
It wouldn't
so
be
because you
fair.
guys did not get to see the end of the round, I will read the stats off to you and kind of describe what was going on. So Cameron's Highlanders actually, let me see, make sure I have the correct one. All right. It's on Viridian Bog. Cameron's Highlanders had a Novacat B with LRMs and a bunch of really like Deca and Brawl mechs mid range. Well, Dropship 4 had the 3 Orion 2 CAs, Cyclops, a couple of Wolfhounds, a Jenner, Storm, and it pretty much Dropship 4 pushed around the center and pushed directly into Cameron's Highlanders, and a huge brawl ensued, and it was down to Deriku and from Cameron's Highlanders side against Violent Blue and Soviet Armada and Meatroid on the Dropship 4 time side. And uh, Dropship 4 coming out ahead just barely in this 8-5. So all three mechs from Dropship 4 were beat up pretty badly though. So it was pretty bad as far as how close it was. It was a good match. I do apologize for you not being able to see the drop. Kurlon did have a computer issue and it did crash the stream. So I'm glad we are back up and running, and we're waiting for them to get ready for drop 5. So yeah, Tios, did you get to see the match while we were watching it?
Unfortunately, I could only see bits and pieces due to the fact that I was getting my video stream from Kurlon. The match did seem fairly quick and I don't know, kind heavily in favor of Dropship 4 as they did a very strong fast push down through the low ground and Cameron's Highlanders was just not really prepared to fight that.
No, White Tiger in the Novacat B with the LRMs only doing 188 which is a little odd seeing as Cameron Highlanders were the ones that actually picked to go to Viridian Bog. It was really interesting to see them just get rolled on it. So the other probably the most interesting thing that happened out of Dropship 4 winning that drop was the score is now 2-2.
All right, now we seem to be waiting for Dropship 4 to lock.
So 2-2. That means the onus is on Dropship 4. Win this or else.
Yeah, if Dropship 4 does not win this drop, they do not win their division. No pressure, guys and gals. And Curlin, did you want to go ahead and do another giveaway?
I can give stuff away. I like doing that.
Cool.
All right, so this will be for a mech bay. I see 27 people stuck around with us, so that's good.
How sweet.
Those people are getting rewarded.
I've got the spinner rolling.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure Black Omen's favor, but I don't know.
And we now have a lock. Oh, nope, not quite a lock yet.
Yeah, locked in but not ready from D4 side.
Drax Dagan is the first winner of a mech bay.
Congrats, Dex.
To manage all the
Drax,
delays.
sorry. Yep. And I have a lobby invite sent to you
Oh,
guys.
and stream is up.
Are you in the lobby? Yep,
Yes,
you
I'm
are.
Giving away one more mech bay.
Alright. I don't think CH would like D4 having you on their team for this round. Alright, so
Wouldn't be
because
fair.
you guys did not get to see the end of the round, I will read the stats off to you and kind of describe what was going on. So, Cameron's Highlanders actually, let me see, make sure I have the correct one.
Okay, the
Both
rig is
sides
in.
are-
I
oh.
just won, so I'm going to redraw that.
All right. Well, we can
Yeah,
do that
not
as
ready and
we can do that as it's loading, seeing as both sides are now locked and ready.
A Novacat B with LRMs. Yeah, and
Alright.
proof that it's not rigged. Curlin winning.
All right. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to pull up all the spectator tools and guides and that stuff because I forgot the hotkeys.
The only thing you need to really know, if you want to click on a mech, you gotta hit P first.
Yep,
Click
got
on
that.
it, and then press. When you get in the drop, hit backspace after the drop ships come in.
Yep, I now
hit
have the
Tab,
key
Q, and
bindings here.
backspace.
Yep, I have the key bindings here.
Cool.
We have some salutes coming from some of the sides. Evidently, these are two teams that do like each other, or at least somewhat.
That being said, Dropship 4 is bringing 2 Jaegermech 6 DDs, 2 Mad Cats, 1 Death Strike, 1 2-B, a Fleet 20, a Bushwhacker P1, and a Commando 2D.
Now, this is quite an unusual choice, seeing as the overall arm health of the Jaegermech was nerfed a while back, meaning that it gets stripped of its weapons very easily. However, on the Cameron's Highlander side, we have a Kintaro, a Bushwhacker, a Mad Cat Death Strike, a Fafnir, 2 Piranhas, an Arctic Wolf, and an Annihilator. So Cameron's Highlander seems to be pulling up again with the more mid-rangey strat. However, unlike last Dropship 4 seems to be doing the same. Now I am curious to see what's on that Fafnir.
The Jaegermech 6 DDs are running 4 light machine guns and 2 Ultra AC-10s apiece.
Oh, and we have some early trades up top. The Jaegermechs attempting to set up control as their bigger mechs move in.
Yeah, but Rainbow Dash and Kira Yagami really just pushed right into Astidius, all the way down to 63. Looks like he almost walked off the edge there. I'm glad he didn't.
And we have strikes going off as Dropship 4 has now set up a very clean crossfire on all of Cameron's Highlanders mechs as they start to move up.
Yeah, and White Tiger in the Piranha jumps in on Astidius as he felt Magnificence having to drop down to help. Reigns in the red and his Arctic Wolf almost scored here.
And Cameron's Highlanders now trying to push along the right side of the ridge, doing their best to focus one side, and they are quickly pushing Dropship 4 as Dropship 4 now has to fall back upon their teammates. However, only 3 mechs are up top now, and they are quickly getting bitten down.
Yeah, Kulan really pushing up underneath him. I think he's pushing up a little bit too far, is not being able to be supported 100% by his team.
And first 2 mechs of Dropship 4 goes down. That's 2 Mad Cat Mark IIs lost instantly.
Yeah, it's a huge loss. With only Cameron Highlanders losing their Piranha. And Dereku and the Fafnir is coming up right behind him here. And Kulan and his Bushwhackers doing some work on the Roughneck.
Oh, and the third mech of Dropship 4 has gone down. A Bushwhacker loss, not as significant of a hit, but still a lot of firepower lost. And the 4th mech from Dropship 4 go. 5th mech, now they're down to a Jaeger mech and 2 lights.
Yeah, just a flea and a commando now. So it's caps or nothing in my opinion here, as both of those light mechs are already out trying to get caps. One of them's on Kappa right now. Other one looks like he's wrapping around to get Sigma. And White Tiger's on Pilot Air. I don't think that's a fight the Flea can win.
Nope, and certainly with the direction the Flea is going, drawing him back towards the enemy team. However, we do have a commando on the outside of the map attempting to get a final cap on Sigma. However, unless these two have some amazing plays, and unless Cameron's Highlanders royally throws this, the match seems to have gone to Cameron's Highlanders this drop.
Yeah. I will say all of the mechs on Cameron Highlander's side, other than White Tiger and Deriku, are hurting incredibly badly.
No, and that is an Annihilator down from the Flea pilot error with only his 5 energy points. Oh, and he gets dropped by Orbit Ray and the Arctic Wolf.
Yeah,
Still
that Streak
quite-
Arctic Wolf is still really good to kill those Flea.
Still quite the feat, though, to drop an Annihilator 1A in your Flea. And Cameron's Highlanders is now spreading out and beginning to solidify their caps. It seems that this will be the end of Dropship 4 this drop.
So does that make Dropship 4 lose their division, or are they tied for first now?
They are 2 points off first.
Yep, I was about to say, they are now second place in this division, which is still quite the feat for Division C, but that does, if they won this job, they would have been tied for first. Oh, and the Commando is moving into a gauge, a Piranha and an Arctic Wolf. The Streak Arctic Wolf just tearing into the Commando now. Oh, and that is it. Cameron's Highlanders has won this match with a score of 3-2, with the final drop going tremendously in Cameron Highlanders' favor.
Yeah, definitely a turnaround from drop 4, and from drop 1 in that matter, which were complete domination for Dropship 4. Cameron Highlanders, they won the game with their Supernova on drop 2, and I think that really set the rest of this match in motion.
Cameron's Highlanders having a very good damage spread, save for their Piranha, but he had a very early death with their top damage, surprisingly from the Fafnir. And Dropship 4, their damage is just a little bit lacking, with their Roughneck Axe 64 pulling the top damage for them. All right, let's see if we can pull in these guys for interviews.
All right.
While you do that, so the last giveaway, the winner was Death's Riddle. So Drax Dagan and Death's Riddle both won mech bays. They both have their codes. Waiting for Beatroid TV to hit me up for his MC code. I've got 3 codes left. While you coordinate people for the interview, I'm gonna give other stuff away. Because I can.
Alrighty.
All right,
So it looks like we're still waiting on Axe and Kieran Yagami, and Rainbow Dash has already joined us. How's it going, Rainbow?
all right,
I'm always ready.
just waiting for someone from Dropship 4.
And here you go. Here's proof for you, Curlin. Go ahead and click on Rainbow Dash's picture there in Discord.
It's Rainbow Dash piloting some sort of mech, which is even better. Unfortunately, I had to crop it, so too bad.
All right, I really don't want to
That
get
is
into the
awesome.
questions without D4 here. However, if they don't plan on showing up, then
Yeah, Axe is supposed to be coming in and joining us.
all right. Well, let's give him a quick moment then.
I'm gonna message him in Discord here.
and the 4th mech from Dropship 4 go. 5th mech. Now they're down to a Jaeger mech and 2
And
knights.
actually,
Yeah, just
if you're
deflating
watching chat,
commando now. So it's
we're gonna do
caps
the
are
old school
nothing
Boobot
in my
giveaways
opinion here.
for the last
As
few
both
codes.
of those light mechs are already out trying to get caps. One of them's on Kappa right now. Other one looks like he's wrapping around to get Sigma. And White Tiger's on pilot air. I don't think that's a fight the Flea can win.
Nope, and certainly with the direction the Flea is going, drawing him back towards the enemy team. However, we do have
How's it going,
Commander
Kieran?
on the outside
And
map
I
attempting
am
to
sending an
find a
invite
cap
to
on
Axe right now.
Sigma. However, Awesome.
Sounds good.
Unless these two have some amazing plays, and unless
What's up,
Cameron's
Yin Yang?
Highlanders
What up?
royally throws
Is
this,
Axe coming?
the match seems to have gone to Cameron's
I don't know.
Highlanders this drop.
Yeah. I will say all of the mechs on Cameron Highlander side, other than White Tiger and Deriku, are hurting incredibly badly. We'll just give him a second to see if he wants to join us.
Annihilator down from the Flea in pilot error with only his 5 energy points. Oh, and he gets dropped by Orbit Ray and the Arctic Wolf.
Yeah,
Still
that Street
quite-
Arctic Wolf is still really good to kill those. Axe.
Still quite the feat.
What's up, buddy?
Annihilator A in your
He's
fleet.
muted.
And Cameron's Highlanders is now
So,
spreading out and beginning
funny
to
thing,
solidify their caps.
Axe doesn't talk.
Oh.
I can do text to speech for him.
Got your ass.
All right. Well,
All right. So we can go ahead and start this interview here. And since you're the new guy, Tios, I'll let you go ahead and start.
all right. So I had a few questions. So for starters, let's go over drop 1. Cameron's Highlanders, why don't you walk us through how you felt about that drop and just what your overall strat was?
So we were gonna set up around the dropship area and then just hold that and send our wolf pack between Theta and Sigma, just looking for light snipes. We got a little clustered there at the end when we got pushed, and that's really what cost us. We just sort of didn't keep our spread well enough.
Yeah, I think in between drop 1 and 2, we kind of were like, yeah, positioning kind of lost us that one. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
One question I do have though is the Stalker 4N with 6 large lasers. I think you had. I am incredibly curious to hear your I don't know process in deciding that was the right choice for that map. Because it's
Yeah.
not a very common mech to see in comp, especially not in that scenario, one would think.
Yeah, I think originally we were thinking about doing a Marauder 2C, and we were just thinking that one might be too squishy. So we tossed around just some other mechs that had higher mounts, and that was kind of what we came up with. Because a lot of those Annihilators, like the mounts are good on those, but even on that map, they hit dirt so often that we were trying to get some higher mounted weapons up there.
Yeah, actually, in scrims, we pretty much thrashed the other teams that brought Annihilators, just because if you shoot at the very top of the Annihilator, they can't fire back.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So Dropship 4, tell us more how you felt about that drop, seeing as you obviously won, but you were a bit more brawl built. So how did you feel at the start of that drop when you were forced to do exclusively mid range?
Yeah, we kind of brought a mixed deck. We actually were hoping that they would brawl push because we were set up for a perfect kind of concave for a brawl push, and we had Cyclopses kind of just chilling, waiting for the push to happen, using our trade mechs to kind of bait a push, and it actually never happened. We actually did the pushing ourselves because the Theta fight kind of happened, and we got mechs into position where we actually wanted them, and it just kind of went our way from there.
Okay. So on to drop 2 then. Dropship 4, you almost entirely won that brawl. Like, there was no way that you weren't going to come out of that with 8 kills. So what happened there with the circle? Were you just too focused on kills there that you lost sight of the circle?
Yeah, that kind of a shitty deal. Basically, that was 8 kills in our pocket that ended up not being 8 kills, and the reason for that is, we were obviously hunting mechs, and we were doing a good job doing it, and the mode kind of slipped through our fingers, and sadly, that's how it ended.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
aren't the first team to make that mistake.
Yeah,
No, no,
Yeah.
you're not.
I made that
we
mistake.
yeah we did some scrims versus Diamond Shark last night actually, and they kicked our butts last week, so we kind of were like, hey, let's scrim with these guys and see if we can get better. And we were able to do the same thing with them, where we kind of like rotated the fight and kept ourselves between them and the circle, and just
Actually, other than them coming at us from the other side, the fight ended up almost identical. Rotated in the same direction. I jumped off the back and backed up into the circle, and then the game ended.
so it was kind
Yes.
of accident, but also kind of on
Yeah.
purpose, I guess. I don't
Well,
know.
in Diamond Shark, we were actually ahead in the fight though, so they were a little more
Oh, yeah.
afraid to try to come at us.
Yeah, it was a very good investment of a supernova to be your capping.
Now, yeah, another question I had that actually relates to that is you brought the Mad Dog Revenant and a Supernova C, so how did you feel about that choice, seeing as those two mechs alone were very large investment on tonnage?
Well, Revenants worked out for us well in the past. Normally I run it though, but I can't run both Supernova and the Mad Dog. So Revenant's got +10 to the shoulders, so
Okay,
it's the
that makes
tankiest
sense.
Mad Dog around. Well, the C is technically the tankiest, but there's no missile mounts in the C shoulders, so Revenant's the next best. But it sort of brings the Mad Dog up to a much better brawler. And the whole strat was brawl with Supernova Overwatch. So
Okay. Then I guess on to drop 3, unless you had any questions, Seabiscuit?
No, you're doing a pretty good job so far. My questions are for drop 3, 4, and 5 though. So
Okay. Drop 3 then. I don't remember which side I played it, but I very distinctly remember seeing an IV4 with 2 LBX-10s.
that's us.
I'm very curious to hear your thinking behind that mech, because yes, it is tanky, but at the same time, though, no one's ever played that in comp before.
Yeah, the MRMs are hard to bring down on the light mechs.
Okay, yeah, that's
So,
fair.
and actually, that was a pilot decision. I give people for some mechs, I'm still like, no, it has to be this build. But when it comes to brawling mechs, I give people a lot of leeway. And Derek, who said, can I try the LBX-10 out? And he tried it out in Scrim, and he said, yeah, I think I'm gonna run this for the smaller drops.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it does get 20% ballistic cooldown, so it's pretty good.
Indeed it does, and with LBXs, that is a very strong bonus to have, seeing as its cooldown is already so short.
Yeah, and we kind of started thinking along those lines once the missile changes came in, and MRMs lost a lot of health, and we didn't want to get those totally eaten up.
Not only that, but in the domination maps, especially when it gets brawly, and they'd pretty much just been exclusively brawling us, we're not worried about the high mats. Like, there's not going to be any trades going on, so he's always going to be able to shoot.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
going back, sorry to jump in for a moment, but going back to the missile health changes, it didn't seem like we saw the big influx of AMS in comp that you would have expected, given what's changed.
I guess mostly SRMs, and then AMS is just sort of maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But we haven't seen a big influx of LRMs either, which I think has been because I remember earlier in the couple weeks you saw like a couple teams feeling a couple AMS just to feel them out, and when they saw that no missiles were coming, they're like, why do we bring this?
Okay, that's more than fair. Moving on to drop 4 now, unless there are any notes that you had. Drop 4 was kind of the one that shocked me the most, only second only to drop 5, simply because we had one side bring an incredibly mid to long range stack deck, and then we had dropship 4 just bring a pure balls to the wall, like push as hard as you can. So my main question is, Cameron's Highlanders, how did you feel about that drop? Because Bog is a very brawl heavy map. So
Yeah, it was sort of. I mean, looking back on it, we probably should have swapped out the Nova Cat. But I felt good early on in the fight. It was when we sort of broke up more, and then we couldn't really get target focus on the Sleipnir that sort of started to fall apart. We dropped our first couple targets good. I was actually feeling good early on in the fight.
Yeah, I'll say that I think D4 does really good at rotating a guy to the back once he's stripped of armor. So he's still back there shooting, but now the fresh armor's up front, which it's just a good good team skill to have, and they do good at that.
Yeah, whoever the dropship for pilot was in that Fafnir that was underneath, as soon as he got into the backside of Timber Highlanders on the steps there, the game was over. But it was still pretty decent.
That was drop 5, right?
Or drop 4.
Oh, drop 4? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Okay, then I guess moving on to Dropship 5, which was easily the biggest surprise drop of the entire night. You both were built for almost entirely Brawl. I mean, Dropship 4 had a mid-range mechs, but it seemed that both teams had the same idea. And in the beginning, Dropship 4, you actually had a beautiful crossfire on them if they were trying to approach up. So what do you feel went wrong in that drop that sort of led from you having a good Overwatch and crossfire to your eventual loss in there?
Yeah, we decided to go ahead and bring the D4 special. We've got some guys in unit that really love the Jaeger DD and messing around in it, playing quick play, and we knew that the league was close and whatnot, but we decided to go ahead and bring stuff we wanted to play and have fun with, and we brought those mechs along with some other DACA stuff. I think looking back a little bit on it, we missed some opportunity to get a lot of free shots out, and we didn't decide to all focus one or two targets to begin with, and that kind of was our downfall there.
Yeah, and really, as soon as the fight started, was it Andreas? I don't remember his name. And in this Jaeger mech, really
Stenius,
yeah, Stenius just walked right in front of.
Yeah, he mentioned on
entire team.
comms that he fell, or that he was out front and that he fell off the side, and kind of from that point it was sort of going downhill at that point.
I did
Alright.
score a pretty lucky strike in there.
Yeah, so with these drops done here, it looks like Dropship 4 has come in second currently in the division.
Yeah, I don't know how how that's going to shape up. Our match with DSAG was 31-30 by kill loss, but they had a cap win in there, so I don't know how that match score thing.
Unfortunately,
comes
the
about.
kill score does not actually mean anything unless it comes down to
And I
tiebreaker.
mentioned that on Discord today, which is kind of weird because, like, I do want to mention, like, just in general of our team, we actually are just kind of more of a group of friends that play the game, and we had a plus 86 kill to death ratio on the year, on the season, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And to be shut out with kills not counting for anything, I know I mentioned this on the Discord today, is kind of a weird thing, I guess.
Well, kills count for something, but they're just tiebreakers.
Right.
Yeah, so you're looking at DSEG is in first place by 190 match score. 10,130 for DSEG, 9,920 for Dropship 4. So this is incredibly close. It's like less than a game's worth of match score.
Yeah, I figured I was going to be going to Disney, winning it all.
All
Did
right.
you already have the order you were gonna do the rides on picked out?
Oh yeah. I was gonna have my mini helmet and everything like that. Just go run around.
Yeah.
I'm in fucking Disneyland. Yeah.
Well,
We kinda-
Carlin,
Oh yeah.
We need a
Carlin's-
Disneyland map. I'm just saying.
yeah. No, Carlin's going to be there at Disneyland with you. He already said he's grabbing his laptop and going straight to Splash Mountain. So,
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm bringing my computer with me to Splash Mountain.
yeah.
we'll be all yelling "Axe for president," you know.
So I do have a few questions for you guys,
Shoot.
and this goes for the other guys casting as well. With MOR season wrapping up, are you planning on signing up for the Inner Sphere Coalition?
Hell yes.
Yeah, Cameron's Highlanders is in.
I'm sure D4 will probably put a team together. Like I said, this team's more of we didn't scrim at all this entire season. We just kind of threw a lot of things together and hopefully continue playing going forward.
No, I understand that completely. What about you, Curlin and Tios?
I do not know which team I will be on next season, but I do know that I plan on playing.
I'm currently in talks with a bunch of my Davian friends. It sounds like we've got interest. The question is, which one of us is going to get suckered into being the team captain and organizer? Because no one wants that hat.
Yeah, Curlin for president. All right.
Wait.
Don't start that.
Before we continue, will you be fielding a team for this 228 DFA, or will there be 2 or 3 teams coming from your little subunit?
We actually have a meeting about this on Monday to see exactly what we want to do. But at the minimum, I think we're going to have 2 teams. I've got enough guys to field like 5 teams, so I just don't know who is interested and who isn't.
And there you see the difference between 228 and what I'm doing. I'm running around emails, forums, TeamSpeak, hitting people up individually. 228 is having meetings. There was probably a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, absolutely. We all know it.
Well, Tios used to be with us. He knows how it goes.
I have seen all of their PowerPoints. I can attest to this. Now, I do not believe I have any more questions. Seabiscuit or Curlon, do you have anything?
I do. But go ahead, Curlon.
No, at this point, I believe I'm good. Unless, anyone's got some good tips for putting out electrical fires.
Yep, urine. Urine is a good one. Make sure it's plugged in.
Electrical fires almost exclusively has to be fire extinguisher.
So I think the floor is yours, Seabiscuit.
Sweet. So I just wanted to thank D4 and Cameron Highlanders for allowing us to cast this. We were trying to go for some extra technology here with video and video. I think it was going well. I think the only issue we actually had was Curlin's computer catching on fire. It was a nice episode of. I don't know what it's called.
We were sitting there. It's like, oh, let's go check the stream for the giveaway. And it's like, there's no stream to be found.
This
Yeah.
just in, D4 actually is tied for the division, so it will go down to a tiebreaker.
Correct. So
I'm sorry for
Curlin,
relying on stream then. I believe I may have said that they got second place.
Yep. So Curlin, next time your computer catches on fire midstream, remember to call 011-8-999-881-999-119-725-3. So
All right, I'm going to sneak over to your house. You've got to have that open on the website. There's no way you're doing that off memory. If you are,
All right.
damn.
Any more questions?
not really. Thank you, Yin and Spinny Thing, for coming for the interview, as well as Axe. Very wise words said by Axe. And Karen04, thank you for joining us. And Rainbow Dash, thank you for joining us.
I will
Thanks,
carry
guys.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So I'm gonna. Whoops, sorry.
Almighty Axe.
Thank you to everyone who viewed. This was the final drop for both of these teams, And now both teams are tied for first place, which the tiebreaker, I do not quite remember what it is.
It's gonna be Kills,
I'm
right?
still going to Disney World.
And with that, we are
Yes.
cutting the stream. Thank you for everyone who watched tonight.
Thank you, Stephen Hawking.
Adios.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, TS Seabiscuit, for an awesome job co-casting night and taking the reins over when my system crapped out.